Good evening. I'm Miss Kitty Chanel, the MC for the Taste of Point 2020 virtual event. Now, who in their right mind would ask a drag queen to MC an event without getting a show in? I mean, I really do hope that you enjoyed my entrance. Now, if you're just waking up, you have two choices. One, go back to bed and wake up in 2021. Or two, realize I'm not in room and board, but some of the furniture might be, but I'm not there. And we're still stuck in 2020. So COVID-19 has reshaped our lives in every way, from mental and emotional anxiety to economic hardship. Over 220,000 lives have lost the battle to COVID-19. Despite trying to see the dawning of a new day, we collectively feel it keeps getting pushed further and further away. In normal times, we'd be together, maskless, on the top of room floor of Room and Board on 14th Street in Washington, D.C., the steadfast and gracious host of the Taste of a Point event for many years before. Now, we're tuning in for the comfort of our own homes for the first ever virtual event of the Taste of the Point. Now, I'm a drag queen, all right? And although we didn't get our pride parade, glitter, sequins, and unicorns this year, I'm not gonna be all doom and gloom about not having our traditional vibe for this benefit. But there are a few advantages. Think of all the times it would take you to get ready. Like this, the hair, the makeup, the perfect outfit, the damn heels. Ugh. Or now in that, I don't know, come as you are state. Because who really is gonna give a shit, right? Treat it like a work day. You know, roll out of bed, splash some cold water in your face at 8:55 for that 9 o'clock call, throw on a top shirt, throw it on the webcam, top shirt, nobody's business, because who cares about bottoms anyway, right? I mean, but you have to think, you're also in a judgment-free zone. I mean, I was always paranoid in years past, being at Room and Board, people watching me eat at Room and Board. I mean, come on, oh, there she goes again. She's eating another free empanada, or is that brisket number 1 or 2 or 3? Please, who am I kidding? I'm just all about the drink. I mean, oh, my drink. You've got some time, grab your snacks, make a cocktail, settle up, because nobody's gonna give you any shit about what you're seeing right now or eating right now. So before I highlight the Point Foundation, I want to thank all of you who tuned in and donated to this event, because you truly are the foundation of the Point Foundation. Without your support, the aspirations of many Point scholars may never have come to fruition. Additionally, I want to give a huge thank you to our partner establishments, restaurants, and distilleries. They've supported the Point Foundation for years, and now, more than ever, we need to ensure that we support them in these very challenging times of COVID-19. The service industry has suffered greatly, and we can do our part by eating outdoors safely in establishments or getting takeout to bring home. So thank you to Room and Board, Hank's Oyster Bar, Republic Restorative Distilleries, Compass Bar, as well as Maidan. And please, remember to vote like the rights of your life depend on it on Tuesday, November 3rd. Because they do matter. Hello, Kitty Chanel here. I'm coming to you virtually from Hank's Oyster Bar in Dumont Circle. Hank's is one of 4 locations under the Jamie Leeds restaurant group. You can also visit the 3 other locations, such as Hank's Old Town Alexandria, Hank's at the Wharf, as well as Hank and Mrs. Italian Kitchen. I'm beginning to introduce one of our Point scholars, Michael ARELLANO. Michael was born in Shelby Township, Michigan, where he lived until moving to start school in Western Michigan University in Kalamazoo. Being a male dancer since 3 years old, Michael experienced a lot of harassment at a very young age, and he became ashamed of his craft as well as his sexuality. Toward the end of high school, Michael began to embrace being a dancer and a proud gay man. While in high school, Michael danced at Suzette's Master of Dance and became an instructor in 2013, teaching students in styles such as jazz, ballet, contemporary, and more. He was also a member of the National Honor Society and volunteered his time tutoring at Mallow Junior High, packing food at Glenner's Food Bank, and helping at a Fraser Building nursing home. In 2015, Michael received the Medallion Scholarship from Western Michigan University. Through the Medallion Scholarship Program, Michael has co-founded a registered student organization called Blessings from Broncos, which is a brand of the national nonprofit organization Blessings in a Backpack. Blessings for the Broncos works to provide food for underprivileged children during the weekend. Michael's excited to continue his studies in dance and psychology and to broaden his activism to the LGBTQA+ community and beyond. I present to you Michael Ariano.
Hi everyone, my name is Michael Ariano. I am a 2017 Point Foundation Scholar and now a proud Point Foundation alumni. I'm so excited and honored to be sharing with you this virtual performance today. Sharing this work from the professional dance company that I work with now reminds me of how incredibly grateful I am for the resources and the community that Point Foundation has provided me with. Without those resources, I would not be here living my dream working as a professional dancer. Thank you so much, Point Foundation, for your amazing and unending support. So without further ado, I share with you an excerpt of the film Elsewhere, choreographed by Mike Caius and Madison Holland and performed by myself and the other dancers of Whim Whim Contemporary Dance Seattle. At the end of the film, there'll be information on how you can view the full film on our new membership-based streaming platform. I hope you enjoy.
I'm back. I've managed to teleport to Republic Restorative Distilleries. Now to introduce the next point scholar, Gabriel Anker. Gabriel earned a Master of Music in Violin Performance from the Thornton School at USC in the spring of 2020. He graduated with a Bachelor of Music with distinction in Research and Creative Works in 2018 from the Shepherd School of Music at Rice University. Born in San Juan, Gabriel grew up in the Houston area where he attended the High School of Performing and Visual Arts. He's been involved with social justice advocacy for queer and other marginalized groups. Gabriel was a Wells Fargo Point Scholar from 2015 to 2018. As an undergraduate, he co-organized a queer art series and he co-led Cedars in collaboration with Rice Queer Research Center in Houston, Hillel. As a graduate student, Gabriel has been a guest artist with Street Symphony, which engages communities directly affected by homelessness, as well as incarceration in the LA County through performances and artistry. You can also visit his website at www.gabrielanker.space. I present to you, Gabriel.
Hello, my name is Gabriel Anker, and I was a Point Foundation Scholar from 2015 to 2018. I'm currently in the San Francisco Bay Area pursuing postgraduate studies at the San Francisco Conservatory of Music, and it's my pleasure to present to you a piece by Chilean composer Gabriela Lena Frank called Eliu Devarim, composed in 2003 for solo violin. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and thank you for all that you do. Please stay safe.
I'm now at Madoc, located on Florida Avenue Northwest in Washington, D.C. I have the privilege of introducing you to Kyle CASTEEL. Kyle is a student and political worker in Indianapolis, Indiana. After receiving the 2018 Point Foundation Award for college scholarships, he successfully transferred from Ivy Tech Community College to Indiana University, Purdue University, Indianapolis, in the spring of 2019. Kyle has been a proud part of campaigns and coalitions to bring legal protection and recognition to the LGBTQ+ community in Indianapolis. While Kyle still consults with campaigns and candidates from time to time, he is currently focused on completing his dual bachelor's degree in policy as well as global and international studies. Kyle hopes to be the first person in his family to attend law school. I give you Kyle.
I'm 2019 Point Scholar Kyle CASTEEL. I first became acquainted with Point Foundation when I was a senior graduating high school back in 2012. I had some classmates who were talking about applying for the Point Scholarship, so I looked it up, and I knew right away that this was something I wanted to do. I wanted to prove that I belonged among the best and brightest LGBT students in the country. Unfortunately, at the time, I was actually graduating near the very bottom of my high school class. School had never been my strong suit, and as somebody who always struggled to focus on anything that wasn't right in front of me, it was hard to be an out gay teenager in rural Indiana when so much in front of you isn't right. So my focus became activism and organizing. I started working with some of my high school classmates to start a gay-straight alliance, and I learned a lot from experiences like that. Even though I wasn't always an A or a B or C student. Like when they wouldn't let us meet in the school as an official club like other students, even though we followed all the same rules, I learned that sometimes the people who make it enforce the rules are bullies too. And when we kept doing it anyway and built a student organization that's still in my hometown supporting LGBT young people, I learned what I was really capable of. So I got away. I moved into the city and I started working and taking community college classes, doing unpaid internships, doing everything I could to try and make myself admissible to the university of my choice, which I was not when I left high school. After a couple of years of doing that, I was really lucky and got an opportunity to be a field organizer on a non-discrimination campaign for LGBTQ people here in Indiana. And when that campaign was done and the other organizers who already had degrees were moving on to other opportunities, my mentor, the woman who hired me, identified the Point Community College Scholarship and sent it to me and said, hey, you really need to apply to this. And I was like, hey, yeah, I really do. So I did. And to my surprise, probably to a lot of people's, I won. And Point Foundation started changing my life that day. I don't tell everybody this, but when Point flew me out to LA for the Community College Transfer Symposium, that was the first time I'd ever been in a plane. When I snuck out of my hotel that night and went to Venice Beach, it was the first time I'd ever seen the ocean. When I interviewed the following year for the Point Scholarship, it was the first time, at least in a long time, when people asked me what I was trying to do with my degree, and I felt like someone was really listening. And it's things like that that make the Point Scholarship so lasting and powerful. It is the material support, and it makes a big difference, but more than that, Point provides a network of alumni and staff and board members who really see and believe in the scholars that they choose to be a part of the community. I feel so lucky to get to be a part of that. So thank you for what you do to support Point Foundation. It's so worth it, and I'm very grateful for it. I hope you enjoy the rest of the event.
Next, I'd like to introduce to you an accomplished and steadfast champion of the Point Foundation, SHARON BRACKETT. SHARON is a serial entrepreneur, technologist, and present CEO of Tiresias Technologies. She's helped start 4 companies in the last 20 years. She knows what it takes to start and grow a small business. In 2010, she was selected by Washington's Smart CEO magazine as one of Washington's Smart 100 CEOs for 2010, and then again after transition in 2011. Sharon is a founder of Gender Rights Maryland, a trans civil rights organization, and serves as board chair. Along with others, she led the fight for trans rights in Maryland. In 2014, she was selected as Activist of the Year by Baltimore Pride. She served as a co-chair for the NGLTF Creating Change Conference in Baltimore for 2012. She's a board member of the Point Foundation, a national LGBTQ+ scholarship organization, and board member of OutServe SLDN, which is suing the Trump administration to allow open trans military service. She periodically writes a column for the Baltimore Out Loud called Rational Thought, focusing on trans rights and issues. Sharon is also a co-founder of Transparent Day and is a former board member and volunteer member of the Gender Identity Support Group of the GLCCB in Baltimore. She has served on the Howard County Executive Alan Kittleman LGBT Roundtable. She's also a former board member and remains an advisor of moringacommunity.org, an NGO that has built an educational program in school in Ghana, West Africa. In her copious spare time, she works with youth groups with technical interests such as 3D printing, scouting, coding, rocketry, and FIRST robotics. I present to you Sharon Brackett.
Greetings, allies, friends, supporters, and community members of the Point Foundation. I'd like to welcome you to the 2020 edition of the Taste of Point DC, which is a virtual edition. I am Sharon Brackett. I'm a member of the Emeritus Board of Directors of the Point Foundation, and on behalf of the Point Foundation, I want to welcome you all to this wonderful online event. Before I go any further, I want to make sure we thank the efforts of the members of our host committee who have worked this marvelous program and given us an opportunity to share ourselves, some of our talented scholars, and a view of our mission, as well as some delectable taste treats from our various sponsors. First off, thank you to Room and Board as our food depot for distributing things. Normally we have this event on their penthouse level, but today they are basically acting as a distribution point for the food, and so we thank them very much for their continued long-term support with Point Foundation. I'd like to thank the vendors who provided the delectables that you may have in your hands right now. Compass Rose, Each Peach, Hank's Oyster Bar, and Republic Restoratives. Hopefully you are enjoying a delightful munchie and a delicious libation through the evening. I want to point out to you that there will also be a donation button on the website associated with the event. COVID-19 has presented some interesting problems for the Point Foundation. In particular, in addition to the normal funding that we've had to provide our scholars for their tuition, we've also offered emergency funding for food security issues, as well as housing issues that have occurred as a result of the pandemic. So you can imagine our need is great, and we need to continue to support our Point family in these scholars and make them very successful. One of the things that I usually like to do is highlight a Point scholar. I'd like to talk about a new Point scholar for us, Madison Clementine. Madison is a engineering student at Portland State in Oregon, and Madison is not atypical of the story of a Point scholar. She is a trans woman who experienced a lot of discrimination has had the situation where she's had to live on the street and also found herself a victim of addiction. And Madison brought herself out of that by substituting a new drug called education. And Madison was part of our community college program, obtaining scholarship funds to complete her education at a community college, and is now in a 4-year engineering program in computer engineering. In any case, she's now studying and focused on a degree in engineering and hoping to get an advanced degree, a master's degree, and possibly a PhD. This is the sort of ecosystem that Point represents these days. These are the sort of things that we do. And I want to ask you all to join me in being a change agent, an agent of change, because Point is transformative. Because what we do is we create new leaders for our LGBTQ family. And as we know, as things are going in our political space these days, we're going to need all the help we can get moving ahead with great talent, great minds, and great individuals with skills and abilities. You can be transformative in making that happen by becoming an agent of change with me. So I encourage you earnestly to donate to Point as much as you can. It's an investment in the future. It is a legacy you can leave today. If you donate $500, you'll become a member of our Cornerstone Society, and you'll be able to join me as a member of the Cornerstone Society as well. You can do that in a monthly installment if you like, at $42 a month, if that works better for you. I encourage you all to contribute to Point and help me tell more stories of more scholars like Madison Clementine and move Point forward to the future, where we all want to see a prosperous environment and life for all of our LGBTQ students and persons in our country. Thank you very much.
Well, shit. As they say, all good things must come to an end, right? Oh, my cocktails have been great tonight. How about yours? Have you had some good cocktails tonight? I hope you have. Hold on one second. Mama needs a sip. How these lips even stay on is beyond me. Well, I really can't think of any other way to close this down at this moment in time.
Are you Miss Chanel? Miss Kitty Chanel?
Why, yes, I am.
This just came via carrier pigeon for you.
A carrier pigeon?
A carrier pigeon, I
Oh,
say.
I do declare. Well, what is this? Let me just see what this is. I feel like I'm at the Oscars. We didn't do those this year either. Go figure. All right, let's see. Oh, well, this is a note from Miss Selena Gerbic. A big shout out to Selena. Hello, Selena. Good to see you virtually. I really can't see you, but I'll put on my specs. And well, let's see. This is from Selena, everyone. She'd like to say thank you for joining us in our first ever virtual edition of Taste of the Point. A huge shout out to Hank's Oyster Bar, Maidan, Compass Rose, Each Peach, Republic Restoratives, and our host room and board for making our event virtually a reality. But it's a virtual reality, so it's all good, right? So again, thank you also to Verizon for your sponsorship, and thank you to the entire host committee for making this event a success. And for all of you watching, we hope that you will continue to support all of the local businesses that have supported Point in the past. For those of you who ordered cocktail and mail kits, well, you'll find promotional cards in your swag bags, and we hope that you'll use them in this winter to support them. Thank you again for supporting Point Scholars. Your donations making it possible for future graduates to have their dreams come true and become our nation's future leaders. And if you'd like to get more involved with Point, please visit Point's website. You can also volunteer to be a Point Scholars mentor or read scholarship applications and even serve on a committee. We hope that you've enjoyed the program and hope that next year we'll be back in person. But until then, stay safe, stay well, and stay involved. I want to thank everyone for coming this evening and joining us in this virtual location. And remember, we have to vote on Tuesday, November 3rd. Get out there, do your part, because everyone's rights depend on it. Have a good night.